Yeah, it's a catnip ball. That's like. But I was wanting to say this. Flashing Lights is my favorite Kanye West song. Followed closely by It All Falls Down, which it used to be It All Falls Down till I heard Flashing Lights. Now, I'm gonna say this. Dan. Flashing Lights makes me think of Willem Dafoe, Mr. Monkey Face. But it's so funny because I don't like Willem. Like, it's like, no. And the reason why I'm like, fuck you, Willem, and all your Dafoes. Only because of a character that he played. The very first time that I ever laid eyes on Willem Dafoe was in Hogan's Hero, the movie. And ever since then, I had this chip. Not even a chip, a whole tree on my shoulder for him. I cannot stand Willem Dafoe like real life, even though he was playing a character. Because he allegedly killed Bob Crane. I'm just saying. It's only allegedly because nobody knows who killed Bob Crane in his sleep. They just know that his head was smashed in. And I think they said it was a camera rod or camera tripod. Which, yeah, like he was asleep and the friend took the camera tripod and while Bob was asleep, he smashed his head.
How could a tripod do that?
It's a camera tripod. It's like, maybe like when you stand up, it'll come like up to your chest. That's just the tripod. Then you put a camera, like a camera on top, so that you can set it up and then you run and then nobody's holding the camera and it takes a picture of you. Yeah. But that's what they think killed him. Because I think it was the 80s. It might have even been the late 70s. I forgot when he got killed, Bob Crane. Yeah. Well, don't put it in your eyeball. Please get it off before it gets in your eye. I don't wear contacts. I don't know, but anyhow. But yeah, so I don't like Willem Dafoe, but Flashing Lights make me think of him. And it could be merely because in Hogan's Hero, the friend, like, I mean, you never seen the video. It's not the movie. I mean, you never seen the movie, but is that Hannah? Help her. It might be Hannah. Ori, are you gonna go help? And ask the Hannah. You didn't run my drink up here? Yeah, like I'm thirsty.
Hi, buddy.
But look what the Banana did. Laid out everything. But yeah, so yeah. You must have did something because you must be on her list. Her and Hannah, they battle. But Hannah must have been the kicker. And back in 2012, because when my sister found out she was pregnant, Biscuit, what you come here? You got fuzz. Yes, come here. You got fuzz on your face. Or you get the fuzz off. Biscuit, you got fuzz on your face. Come here. So when my sister found out, when my sister was pregnant, like Dinkers, when she did go to sleep at my mama's house, she used to like sleep on the couch. Buddy, just pick it up. I'm not getting that out. I'm not getting it out. No, sir. Buddy, just play with the toy. You don't need the catnip ball out of it. Yes, y'all, that is a dog toy. Okay, so when my sister was pregnant, she used to like sleep on the couch and at my mama's house, and Dinkers, which the dog's name is Karma. That's what my sister named the dog, Karma, because Karma is a bitch. And Dinkers, I call her Dinkers. Okay, so my sister named her Karma, my mama named her Carmen, and I named her Dinkers, or Dinkerdy. But yeah, so when I say Dinkers or Dinkerdy, she knows that it's Keita. She knows that it's Auntie Keita. I love my Dinkers, and I miss her so terribly. My sister got her after my mama got killed. But like when Dinkers was born, she's a teacup chihuahua. Oh, she's so tiny. But my sister said she was losing weight after my mama got killed because Carmen was when Dinkers, when she was born, like she was my sister's dog, and then my sister's like, oh, I want to bring the dog over and let you see her, talking about mama. And then like a couple of weeks later she came back, and a couple of weeks later, she leaves, and a couple of weeks later she'll come back, and the whole time the dog stayed with my mama. And then that's when she got pregnant with girls. And so that was like November when we found that out, that she was pregnant with the girls. And then she used to sleep. Yeah, one for you, one for Savannah, one for Colton. And then, so she did come to my mom's house to go to sleep. That's when she would sleep on the couch. Well, the dog is used to climbing, up on the couch and laying on her chest to sleep, because that's how the dog likes to sleep because she's just a tiny little baby. And so this was like a little bit into the pregnancy, and Dinkers will crawl up her and get on the chest. Well, then she will feel movement like in the beginning, and she just bark at the belly, and then of course later on Dinkers will be like laying on my sister's like chest, and stomach. And then I'm thinking of Hannah, because Hannah was the kicker. Hannah was the kicker. And I only say that because when it was a day before they were born, we had to do an amniotic centesis to see if their lungs was healthy enough to be born. She was 37 weeks and 4 days. And the day before that, so, they were born the 28th. So this was the 20. I keep saying 25th is when we found out, but I'm thinking it was like around the 26th. I don't think it was the 25th of June. I think it was the 26th of June when we found out that she was having twins and that they were girls. But that was her doctor's appointment, so we didn't didn't know if they were identical. We didn't know if they were in the same sack. But they didn't know if she was, if they were born, would they have to go straight to the NICU? Because they was trying to see if the lungs was healthy enough. And so we had to do an amniotic centesis to get amniotic fluid. And because Hannah was on the right, Savannah's on the left, then they did the right, because Savannah was getting a ball on the left side, which is funny because Savannah's left-handed. I know that don't mean anything, but Savannah's left-handed, and then Hannah was on the right side, and Hannah's right-handed. But no, they're not identical. Obviously, I see them. They're not identical, but they think that they might be mirror twins only because they're like most mirror twins. I mean, like most mirror twins are identical, they look alike, but not all mirror twins are identical. But most mirror twins are basically the opposite of each other. And I don't know, because I didn't film them when they were little. Yes, I've had them ever since a week before they were born. Like filmed my sister, brought her home, and all that. But like her blood pressure was really high. That's why we were like, okay, like she basically had preeclampsia, but because she didn't have it with the other 4 pregnancies, but we don't know about pregnancy 3 and 4. What?
That's not letting us give it to him, because he said if we go and give it to him, we're going to have another 2 weeks grounded. And I told him we have permission to give it to him.
Yeah, if he's on the porch, tell Daddy, yeah, y'all's punishment was up today. Y'all allowed to go out, but just don't like go away from the front yard or backyard or whichever yard y'all play in. Make sure you stay where when Daddy looks out, he can see you.
Well, he's inside. We're just going to leave it at his door.
Well, you can knock on the door and hand it to him, but you got to come back over here. So they did the so when they did the amniotic centesis, like they went into Hannah's sack. At that time, we didn't know if they shared a sack. We didn't know if they were in individual sacks. We later found out that they were in individual sacks. That's why they are now 36 minutes apart. Hannah's vaginal, Savannah's C-section. And it's literally because we didn't know. But so when they did take the amniotic fluid from Hannah's sac, she basically was in the bigger sack. Which, me looking back, because I'm thinking about, oh crap, I don't even know their names. It's the I'm thinking the British couple. Jessica Rachler, is her name? I don't want to get it wrong. I know they got a son named Rupert, and I think her name is Jessica, because I think their YouTube channel is her name, or something like that. But they just had twin girls, and I'm thinking that's what was with my girls, that they had late stage TTC or twin, so TTS, I think that's what it is. Twin transfusion. Usually it's usually what it is where like twins have like they share the placenta, and then like one gets like most of the nutrients and all that, and the other one typically don't survive, or they have to be born early because one baby is getting most of the blood, most of the nutrients, and the other baby's not. But that usually happens like really, really early in the pregnancy. And with them, it didn't happen like that. And they did have, like, the later end of the pregnancy, their babies did have twin transfusions, or whatever it's called. But it wasn't the blood supply, it was the amniotic fluid. So one baby, I'm going to say baby A, I don't know which baby, I don't know what their babies' names are. I haven't watched their birth video because I've been watching the Karen Reed trial, which, thank God, she was found not guilty of killing John O'Keefe. I have been invested in that trial since last year. Walked in last year knowing zero buckets about what happened. Didn't hear anything about the case. It happened January 29th, 2022. Last year was 24, and so I watched it. Heard about it first time last year, 24. And then she was found not guilty on charges 1 and 3. But last year, the jurors did not know that they could ask certain questions. Because why? Because Auntie Bev, and Lottie Dottie, anyway, that's what I call them. Most people call them Lollipop, but I call them Lottie Dottie. Because why not? Same difference. You were falsely charging this woman. Why not? You're no better than Bin Laden. It's just you did not physically kill her. But Proctor was wishing it on her. Oh, I just wish she would kill herself. Why, Proctor? Why do you want her to kill herself? She found her boyfriend deceased. She didn't do it. But 16 hours after, John O'Keefe was found by his girlfriend, by his girlfriend Karen Reed, by his supposedly best friend Jen McCabe, and Terry Roberts. 16 hours they found him in the snow. They couldn't name him, they could not pronounce him dead until his body temperature was 80 degrees. So, he was either dead or dying. But, this year, which was maybe about 3 weeks ago, I had a new theory. Because me and Gary, we always said we think it's the McAlberts, Higgins. That's what we call them. Because we don't know if it was the Alberts. We don't know if it was the McCabe. We don't know if it was the Higgins. We don't know if it was Brown Higgins. All have motives. Anyways. So we didn't know if it was the McAlbert Higgins. But I used to say the McAlbert O'Keefe Higgins. I'm not saying that John's mama, John's daddy, John's brother, or anybody in John's family, I'm not saying that they did anything to him. No. I am grieving with his family. I am grieving with his family. Because they got zero justice. They got zero justice because the people, the person that was in charge of the investigation, the people, the person, and I'm only saying people as in people that say that they love him, people that said, oh no, like, we love John, he was family. They literally called Mr. O'Keefe Papa, Peg. They call her Peg. I mean, her name's not Peg, her name is Margaret, but she went by Peg. Don't know why, but hey, if she wants to go by Peg. And Papa, them not knowing what happened to their baby boy. After losing his sister to cancer, John, okay, so Peg and Papa had a daughter that had 2 kids. And so John's sister died of cancer. And then a month later, her husband died of a heart attack. So these kids' mother died. Then a month later, their daddy died. And so the only single person, so that they could stay in the school, so that their lives did not change, moved into their house, which was their Uncle John O'Keefe. So then the kids, right? So he has the kids. Them is now his kids. And then he gets killed. So within the span of, I think, a year and a half, they lost their mama to cancer. They lost their daddy to a heart attack. And they lost their uncle to a murder. And all that they have left is Papa, that's the grandpa, or their grandfather, Peg, their grandmother, and their uncle, and of course aunts and cousins. His kid's Paul. But even me saying all that, I had literally no hard feelings. No hard feelings. Because I totally understand. I'm also grieving. But mine is, they didn't hit her. I don't know the truth. I only know what was told to me. The cops, oh yeah, we investigated and it was truly an accident. He didn't leave the scene of the accident. This was the witnesses saying. I don't know if I know he didn't leave the scene. That is true. But everything else, I have no evidence because things don't make sense to me. Knowing that my mama broke her hip at the end of 2023, was in a nursing home until 24 with physical therapy. I mean, she had to get a rod. It's like she fell in her apartment, and then she got a rod put in her hip. Went to a nursing home to get mobility back. Came home probably like a month or a month and a half later. This is like March of 24. Fell again. Broke the other hip. Got surgery. Got a rod in that hip. But then and before she fell the first time, everybody knew she was always in her car, aka her hub around. She did not walk anywhere. The only time she did not have her hub around was when of course, she didn't walk around the house with a walker or with a cane. Of course, her apartment was tiny, so she didn't have her hub around. But August the 17th, she was walking with a walker in the middle of the road. Don't make sense to me. But I have no proof. Case is closed. And I got no justice. But even if I did get justice, what is justice? What would that look like? And that's why I say, I totally understand. I totally understand. If it truly was an accident, all that I want from that man is just to write me. Even if it ain't real, I'm like, basically, like Fun with Dick and Jane, only I'm not wanting it. I'm not wanting his letter for purposes. What I mean by that, if y'all never seen Fun with Dick and Jane with Jim Carrey. In that movie, like Jim Carrey works for a business and they, basically set him up, take the fall because the company inside traded, so that all they stock, different people had, a lot of people lost their jobs, lost their life savings. Why the person that actually did it, like the boss or whatever, took the money and ran. And so, in that movie, Jim Carrey seen the man at a thing, and he was just like, and he took acting in college, but he's just like, just write me a check. So the dude wrote like $1, wrote him a check for $1, and the man was like, I'm gonna cancel it, and he goes, yeah. He's like, I know you are. He's like, I'm gonna cancel the check, like before I even leave. He goes, yeah, I know you are. He goes, it's just the principle. No, had tears in his eyes and everything. And then, like, soon as that man left, thinking, haha, you came to me with tears in your eyes and you literally cried. And I wrote you $1 check that I literally canceled the check before I left the building. But Jim Carrey and the wife needed the signature of the man so that they could forge checks or whatever, and something happened and everything got transferred and everybody got their money back. And so it was, they did to get the man's signature and all that, but I'm not wanting the letter for that. And like I said, she can write it and then not be like truly remorseful. But I never got justice. I will not get justice because it was deemed an accident. So I totally understand with the OTs. They just want to know what happened to John. I want to know what happened to John. So I understand as a grieving family, but I also understand as an outsider, as same grieving family. I don't want that man that killed my mama, I don't want him to go to jail just because I'm grieving. Because if it truly was an accident, I don't wish no malice on him. But I would never get justice. And him going to jail would not give me justice. I did not sue because I could have sued and got pain and suffering. I don't care if I got $1 trillion in pain and suffering. I don't want it. That will not fix me. And I even told my sister, if you want to sue him for pain and suffering, I will be there with you. I don't want any of the money. 100% of my portion will go to you. I don't want anything. I don't. And I'm still like that. Almost a year later. And we got 2 more months. I say she does. She got 2 more months to decide if that's what she wants to do. But I told her, I will back her if that's what she wants to do, which is the advocacy thing, was like, it might be like $2,500, and it'd be split between me and her. I don't want none of it. I don't want none of it. She can have it 100%. I don't want anything of it. And I told her that, like, if that's what you want to do, I don't know if it takes me or her to sign the paper, or if she could just sign it. I don't know. But if it takes both of our signatures, I will sign the paper, and she can have 100% of that. She just has to file it in her name, so that if they do write like a check in the order of the person that filed, it will be her. I don't need any of the money. I mean, like, I might need it, but I don't want it. Let me just say it like that. Need and want is 2 different things. I might need it, but I don't want it. I don't want it. If it was $100 trillion, I don't want it. I don't want it. Not one penny of it. But, so I totally agree with the O'Keefes. I totally understand the O'Keefes. They just want to know what happened to John. I want to know what happened to John. And because the investigation into John was done so horribly, and 16 hours after he was deemed deceased, Michael Proctor already said that Karen did it. 16 hours. Like, he did no investigation. He literally talked to Jan and Matt McCabe. He talked to the Alberts. And they was like, Karen did it. Okay. No evidence that she did it. He then went to her daddy's house, her mom and dad's house, just to talk to her. But he already called the Denton sergeant to say, oh, well, what towing company do you use? Well, like, I just found out 2025 that he caused that man to have a towing company, whatever towing company that they use, to have it at her house because they're taking her car. They haven't even spoke. He never even met Karen at that point. He literally talked to Jan and Matt and Brian and Nicole. Talked to them. Got their side of the story, and then was already going to take Karen's car. No warrants. Didn't even know her side of the story. Knew nothing. They went based on everything that Jan, Matt, Brian, and Nicole said. No proof. It's just because they said that, and because John is a Boston cop, but is the owner of the house gonna get shit? Nope, because he's a Boston cop too.